of Carabao, reach the quarters of FA, isn't it? So I think what Tuchel was trying to do was trying to see players' appearances also was a major thing, which helped him to distinguish between Phil Foden and Madueke. I think, according to me, I think that was his main reason.
Yeah, that's why I said how the players performed in the previous season.
So, away with the Foden and Palmer's situation, let's talk about Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire was one of the standout players for Manchester United in the previous season, and maybe most of the fans thought he was going to fit in the World Cup. And even I personally was expecting to see Maguire at the World Cup. So, do you think leaving out Maguire was also the player rotation, or it was just a tactical decision by the coach?
I think this one for Maguire was a tactical decision because Maguire has helped Manchester United a lot. Maguire plays defense, isn't it?
Yeah.
He has helped Manchester United not to concede a lot of goals. They always Martinez, isn't it? Yeah, he has helped Manchester United a lot in the defense, and even me, I expected Maguire to be in the World Cup. But when I looked at the players who are called for the World Cup, I was surprised not to see Maguire. I think this one is a tactical approach because there are many defenders. You can't say that Maguire is the only defender. In this country, there are many defenders, and that one is according to the coach's own view. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe let's get away with the England sport matters and maybe we can come back to Africa. So Africa has taken a lot of countries to the World Cup. We have seen countries like Morocco, Senegal, Tunisia. We have Ivory Coast.
Even DR Congo, I think, is in World Cup.
Yeah, DR Congo is also in the World Cup. And most of these nations, a nation like Morocco and Senegal, they have always been performing very well when it comes to the World Cup. Like in the 2022 World Cup, we saw Morocco reach the semi-finals, where they were knocked out by France in the semi-senior. Yeah. So, and then a team like Senegal, they have always been performing well. We saw them at the AFCON in early January. They were crowned the champions before later the decision was made to give the victory to Morocco. So which African team do you think will maybe can go higher than the others, maybe reach the quarters or even reach the final?
I think at that position when we say that which country, African country, personally I can say the other countries are going to try their best. They're going to try because they are not being checked on so much. The much focus of the Africans now is Senegal and Morocco, because I think that after that AFCON there might be some rivalry between these two teams. So they want to prove to Africans which team, which Senegal and Morocco, which country is the best. Because I think once the AFCON once AFCON kuisha, this thing, the two teams became rivals, because you see even the last minute, once before the game end, we saw what happened in the field when they saw a bad game was played by a Moroccan team, by Senegal team, and they were offered they gave to this guy, and
yes.
Yeah. The thing that happens there, we saw another time they were given another extra time, and we saw it was fair, but somehow we see that there was some I think they were balancing between these two teams, and I think there was some corruption there. They wanted to end the game, and we saw what happened. We saw this Sadio Mane talking to his teammates, and they came back to the field. A sign of gratitude, that sign of manhood, I can say manship, sportsmanship. If I can say that thing, I can. So I think there is rivalry, because Senegal was given the cup, but later we saw this thing happen that it was
given
You see? So I think that it's going to be tough because Senegal wants to prove that they are the best. Morocco will try to show Senegal that we are the best. So I think Senegal and Morocco are the teams here in Africa which people are going to focus on mostly. Yeah.
And so maybe if we are still focusing on like Ivory Coast, we saw them, they played a friendly yesterday against France, where most of us did not expect them to win due to Kiangalia players like Mbappe, Dembele, we have players like...
Players like this Manchester United player, Amad Diallo. You all know Amad Diallo, and I think even people of Chelsea knows what Amad Diallo does to them, Arsenal, you know.
Yeah.
Amad, very legit players. Look at the squad of Ahmad of Ivory Coast. There are many of these players plays in England. I think they play in Europe, not even in England. They play in Europe, yeah. Many of it. And Europe, you know, is the center of football. There is football in Europe. Many players in football. So we should not degrade Ivory Coast. I think Ivory Coast can shock people somehow. They can reach a certain level which they are not expected. Was it 2018?
And they are not in
2022, they played the final, isn't it? And did you expect a team like Ivory Coast to win France? It was very hard. People like Mbappe, people like Vinicius.
Play alone, and you see every time he's complaining because what you expect from your teammates you can't get. You can't say that Amad Diallo imagines that all players are from Man United, so he can't play alone. So if you say that you disagree with me, my friend, you can't disagree with me. You also know.
Cut that long story short, let's just finish this story by saying that, you know, in a team it's not it's not a matter of how good an individual plays or how good a team plays against the other and ends up losing the game. Whatever matters in a football game to most of the fans is we won that match. That's what matters mostly. Because in most instances we have seen a team winning even with a possession of 20% and the others 80%. So in football, outplaying the other is not only that does not matter. What matters is who wins the game.
Yeah.
So we are still focusing on African teams. So in the past World Cups we have watched, we saw that it's only Morocco that managed to reach higher. That was in 2022, where they reached the semi-final. So what lesson should the other African teams that are going to this World Cup learn from Morocco in 2022, and the things that they should implement so that they can at least go higher than they were? Because in most cases we have seen African teams, they do not go past the group stages. If they go past the group stages, you get that it's only 2 or 3 teams. So what do you think they should learn from the previous World Cups so that this time they at least go higher than how they have always been?
Number one, I think what they should learn from Morocco is, number one, how they cooperated in their games, teamwork. I'm talking about teamwork. How they used to supply balls to each other. You know, there is this I don't know if I can call it disease, that somebody wants to be identified as the key player of a team. So in that case, you will find that this person wants to win every ball. Every ball he wants to possess it and do all sorts of things. And at long run, you will end up losing the game. So what I can say is that they should look at how those people cooperated in their previous games, and only that, how they cooperated in teamwork. So that's what I can say.
Yeah, if I can add something, as my colleague have said here, that teamwork. You know, Morocco, when we see Morocco, we can see how they play their ball, the football they are playing, how they are playing their touches, how when they enter the field, this morale that they have, that we are going to win this. You know, once you're a player and once you are in a team, an international team, you should know that what you need is a win. And when you come to the field, you're coming with that mentality that you are going to win this. So Morocco, I think, they have that strategy that we have to win this. We have to win it. And a team that wants to win something, they must have this strategy that they're going to use. Nobody is going to score more than the other one. Because when you see how Morocco plays, you see Hakim is a defense. But they value that player the most. Why? Because of how he plays, how he coordinates the team, how he brings how he defends. That man plays everywhere. He can fit everywhere. You see him, after sometimes he's in the midfield, after sometimes he's in the striking, after sometimes he's in the defense. You see, that man plays very well. So, and he has never complained. You know, we see many people who plays international, like somebody like Osimhen. That's why Nigeria cannot go far. I can say that is the reason why they can't go far. Because Osimhen thinks that once I am in an international team, these players are good. And he carries himself like, I am the best. I am the best. These people cannot be compared to the way I play. You see? So anytime he expects that the way he plays outside there is the way his teammates will play. You see that mentality, like being a star, being supported by most of the people. You see now, you see what he will always see is losing, because once he thinks that these people can give him the ball the same way he used to receive from other players that he used to play with out there in Europe. So I think mentality of these people, like my brother said here, like Ahmad. You see, Ahmad is always disappointed because he thinks that you'll always be disappointed, because what to expect from your teammates, you cannot bring the mentality of Man United to the international squad, you see. So I think that is the thing that makes African teams don't go far, because mostly these people who play for these big teams in Europe, they think that when they go to the ground, to the field, they think that these people will work the way Bruno work. And you can't compare Bruno with your midfield. Now perfect your midfield. Tell him how Bruno do this thing. Then he can practice from it. Yeah, coordination must appear.
Talking about Osimhen, we saw what he did in the AFCON, in the previous AFCON in January, where he was frustrated after Lookman failed to pass the ball to him. So at times, this is not the first time we have seen such a thing from a striker. You know, when a striker is in a position where he can score, what he expects from the winger or from his midfielder is to receive a pass so he can try a shot, maybe he can score, or a team can win a corner. That's what we call teamwork.
Yeah.
So when Osimhen was frustrated at Lookman, after that he went to the press and he said why he was frustrated. And maybe some of the fans said, he had every reason to be frustrated because he was in a position to score. But Lookman decided not to pass the ball, and that chance was wasted. So, do you think when you are a striker, like Osimhen, what Osimhen did, so let's assume you are now a striker, how could you have reacted to an extent that it could have not generated very much pressure to you as a player? Because we saw most of the attention was given to Osimhen's reaction. What could you have done so that most of the attention could have not been given to such an incident?
You know, as a striker, you should understand your teammates. That means when a player cannot pass a ball to you, that means there was wrangles while you are training. Because you can't tell me that I'm in a position that I can score, and then you refuse to give me the ball. That means these players, I think these African players, they have this attitude while they're in the field, which I see in other nations out there. They don't have that attitude, you see. So I can say that yes, he have every reason to get mad, because he was expected to. People are looking at him very much more than the other players. So I think he has the reason, yes, to be angry, but not to an extent that is now. The way he was, you see, the way he was behaving as if he have done a very bad thing. But correction is there. You must accept correction, and you must say there's something that you expect from your team. And if you don't see that thing